welcome to a new episode of the Jazz Zodiac Podcast, the greatest wrestling podcast you've never heard of. This is the podcast that thinks that Jade Cargill should have gone to NXT before going to the main roster. And we will talk about that match later on. But before we do, introduce the Psycho Nerd, the repeat movie viewer, all those fun things that he does, the Psycho Nerd. Before we talk about we're going to talk about the AAA main event yesterday between the all Americano Grande platter fuckers, and then we'll talk about the Clash in Italy. But before we do, I want to address something really quick on the show. We here at the Jazz Zodiac Podcast have parted ways with Sir Charles Richardson. We won't go into details about it, but it just wasn't working out the way we would have liked for it to work out. So we have decided to part ways. We wish him and his show the best of luck. That being said, I will not be on his show going forward. As a matter of fact, I won't be promoting his show. I will have to update the descriptions below with all the links, but we do wish Sir Charles the best of luck, but we will be looking for a new co-host going forward, and I've already planted the seeds for that as well. So we got all that bullshit out of the way. Let's move on to the match that happened last night on YouTube, and that is the OG Americano Grande platter versus the fake-ass one. I'm sorry.
Which one's the fake one? Which one's the fake one? We don't know.
No, we don't know. But
we do now.
Here's the thing about that match. That match by itself was better than the 5 matches combined that we had in Italy today. And I will die on that hill because it was that fucking good.
I am not going to argue that. As far as I'm concerned, just the first 5 minutes of you know what I mean, the Grande platter, all that good stuff. Yeah. Just 5 minutes of that match was better than the entire main event in Clash of Italy combined.
Agreed. Oh yeah,
and that's pretty sad. It's pretty sad when this wrestling show that's not even shown on a grander scale, it's on YouTube. Nothing wrong with YouTube, don't get me wrong, but when you have to pay a crap ton of money on ESPN Plus to watch Clash in Italy, and yet this stuff is for free on YouTube, and it's infinitely better than what we're having to pay for, UE, TKO, whoever, you guys are doing it wrong, man. You are doing it wrong.
And we've said this before, TKO has their hand in the fucking cookie jar with creative, and they're dropping the ball big time. Yep. And you know, and I didn't know this until last night. Do you know who the booker is for AAA? Fucking Undertaker.
You know who?
Undertaker. Yeah.
Undertaker.
You have Undertaker.
Hell yeah.
You have Undertaker in AAA. You have Shawn Michaels in NXT, and you have Triple H in the main roster. Yeah.
But it's not just Triple H in the main roster, is it? As we just
discussed. No. We've discovered that.
That tells you everything you need to know about the other products versus the main product. There's a problem here, people.
Facts. Now, we won't go into too much detail about that particular match, but we will say that the fact that the OG Americano took his mask off, and it was none other than Chad Gable, which surprised nobody. We already knew it was him.
But we already know who the other one is, but we won't get into that. That takes away from the surprise down the road.
But here's the thing with this, and the fact that people in the States are all about the OG, but when he goes to Mexico, he is booed beyond belief, and I fucking love it. It's great. I want to see Chad Gable in the title hunt now. I want to see it. It needs to happen.
Dude, the fact that this guy has still, to my understanding, still never won a major singles title in the companies. Not even before doing that match, the fact that he has never won one, and yet we keep giving the same damn people over and over again. You know who I'm talking about. I'm not going to go into names. Giving the same exact people the freaking title. Not just Roman. There's other people, but we won't get into it. Constantly giving the same damn people the freaking title and not giving the new, fresh, more awesome, no, not more, but just, the up and comers. You're doing the WCW shit all over again, guys. Did you not learn from those mistakes? Come on. Chad Gable should have been a champion a long time ago.
Well, agreed. 100%.
As far as I'm concerned.
But he addressed the crowd. He handed the mask to the fake one, who is now the real one. And this was a match that you didn't know who was going to win. Like, there was a couple of spots I thought that the other guy was going to lose, especially when ripping off the mask, which is, just heresy, especially when it comes to in the lucha libre style of wrestling. But this was a
fun.
5-star match, arguably candidate for match of the year. It was incredible. So we're gonna go from the top of the hill to the pint of eternal stench that is Clash in Italy. And we start off with a match that I thought would go a different way, but it was Cody versus Gunther. Was hoping for a different outcome here, but there is some controversy at the end of the match. Gunther's foot was under the rope, but when Cody went for the pin, his foot went out from under the rope. Therefore, the ref never saw it. Yeah. What were your thoughts on this match?
Man, I didn't think it was terrible. It's about what I expected from a Gunther match. You know, he did a good job of taking control from the get go. Even when Cody tried to get a little bit of momentum going, which he did a couple times along the way, Gunther would just shut that crap down real quick. As far as I'm concerned,
Yeah.
that's what I got from the match. It wasn't terrible. It was manageable. It was watchable. It was decent. And I'm sorry, but Cody winning, I was unhappy. I was really looking for Gunther to win, honestly.
Yeah, but the
But
fact that he beat him clean, that's I'd have been happier if Cody would turn heel and just started beating the shit out of him with a chair. At least then I'd been like, oh, okay, well, it's fucking heel Cody. Okay, I get that. But this, yeah, again, I was not once the match was over, I was like, okay, whatever. But that being said, myself and the Psycho both picked Gunther to win, and unfortunately, both of us were wrong. So we're on the board, but we got a big goose egg for the moment.
so far,
So far, yeah. Next, we had Jade Cargill versus Rhea Ripley. Now, we were talking about this on the TikTok live that I was on, and there's a couple of people in that live that are or in a promotion like myself that they wrestle or they are part of a promotion. The takeaway that we had is that Jade was not posting. She was not helping Rhea with the big spots, the Razor's Edge, where she was not helping. When you pick somebody up, you need the opponent to lift with you. You can't just dead weight pick them up. It's like picking up a bag of sand. The same thing with the Riptide. If you notice when Rhea does the Riptide with Jade, she doesn't get her as high as she does anybody else. That's because Jay's not helping her pick herself up when she does the move. And Rhea has back problems as it is. So she's just making it worse. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. And I said this earlier, Jade Cargill should have gone to NXT. She is still green. She is still rusty. She is still dangerous. And it's just a matter of time before somebody gets seriously hurt. We saw the same thing with Nia. Nia has cleaned up her act lately. We haven't seen any injuries from her. Jade hurt like 2 people before she won the title. I forget who it was, but she did hurt 2 people. So this match was boring. And of course, you had to have Meacham and K-Fab or whatever the fuck her name is come out there and interfere. And then Charlotte had to come out there and do her thing. I'm like, can we just have them fucking win the match clean? Granted, they didn't hit each other. And can we talk about Meacham was supposed to grab Jade's foot and put her, and she literally dropped the ball. And then she got caught like, oops, like, oh,
it's like the one job you had in that whole entire scenario, and you blew it. And even the fans were booing like, oh, come on, people, we're not stupid. We saw that. You totally messed up. So, yeah. And I even put in my predictions that I was expecting the cronies to come out at some point or another.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if we were going to have any kind of fun from Charlotte or Alexa, because I know Alexa went through a table on SmackDown.
Yeah. Although Alexa did fucking destroy Jade on that promo. Did you see that? Did you hear that promo?
No, I didn't.
Alexa pretty much told her, I have cut down people that are better than you in this ring. So know your place. In not so many words, that's pretty much what she told her. I was like, fuck, Alexa's cutting. But I just got a text from the WWE Universe for the cronies that Jade has. Stupid! You're so stupid! So, yeah. But here's the thing about this match is that this may be setting up something at SummerSlam between Rhea and Charlotte. Maybe Charlotte wins the Queen of the Ring, which they did announce the brackets. I did not look them up. That'll be a whole different show. I'm not going to worry about that until they start doing the tournament, which will be tomorrow. But I'm my spider sense is telling me that it's going to be Rhea versus Charlotte at SummerSlam in Minnesota.
That would not surprise me based on how things are going right now with with Charlotte and Rhea right now, where they're almost slowly kind of looking like they're becoming buddy buddy in some
Yeah.
fashion or another. And we know there's a lot of hatred between the two characters.
I
So
did I did have some fantasy booking. If you have the finals in the Queen of the Ring, Charlotte versus Alexa for the finals, whoever wins gets the title shot.
see
That's
now
that's booking.
that would be interesting though, because
And
that's good
that could
storytelling.
that could be where Charlotte becomes the face and Alexa becomes the heel. Like Alexa does something, like either she loses and she just turns on Charlotte and they part ways. We've seen heel Charlotte. I'm done. I'm over it. I'm done. I don't need to see it again. It's fine. It is what it is. But this match again just wasn't there. But I can say that both myself and the Psycho got it right. So 1-1 moving forward.
At least I got one right,
Yeah. No,
but for my opinion,
you got 2 right, actually. You got
well,
2
I
right.
mean, as far as 2 matches in is concerned, I got 1
Yeah.
right. But, I don't think the match was terrible. I just think it could have been better.
You could have been a lot
There
better.
was I mean, there were some fun spots along the way. I love how Jay gave Rhea, like, this really pussy slap and started celebrating, but then she ended up getting a slap for
When
her
she was
trouble.
doing the
That was
push-ups,
hilarious.
when she was doing the push
Yeah, it's like you're showboating over a slap. Really? Come on, wake up. Wake up now. There was a nice kick to the head by Rhea at one point to Jade. I thought that was a lot. That was pretty nice. At one point, Jade pulls Rhea out and she hits her shoulders on the apron, which looked terrible. But
I
then
look
she slammed. But then she turned around and slammed Jade on the apron. And I'm sorry, that sounded horrible when she hit.
yeah.
Like I'm surprised it didn't cause any problems or slow her down at all because it
That
sounded horrible.
that was
And
a
I do
horrible bump, yeah.
it really was, and I do appreciate the super back suplex by Rhea off the top rope. Very nice. You don't see the back suplex too often. It's usually just a regular
Yeah.
superplex, so I appreciate that. So, again, I don't think it was a terrible match, but yeah, it could have been better. It took a little while to kinda get some speed going, but when it got going, it got interesting too. But I agree, Jade still a little bit on the green side. I don't
Mhm.
disagree with her. She could benefit from just a little bit of time in NXT, just a little, just to kinda, work out some of the kinks, but just that, it's my opinion.
I agree. Moving on to a match that I think if anybody had this on their bingo card would have not gotten this spot. That's Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar. We counted 7 F5s. 7 F5s, including one on the announcer table. Now, before I'm going to say what we predicted. I predicted Oba by disqualification. You predicted double disqualification. Both
Yeah,
sound reasonably like the right answer. I didn't
yeah,
think
some kind of a draw. That's what I was thinking.
if
Yeah.
Oba were to win, it'd be by a DQ or some sort of whatever. Okay, where do I begin with this? This was a prolonged squash match where Oba didn't get any offense in. It's almost like a complete opposite of what we saw at WrestleMania.
Exactly what it was. Yeah.
Now, this is to the fans that complain about John Cena, Roman Reigns, The Rock, Stone Cold, and Hulk Hogan with their 5 moves of doom. Brock only had 2 moves in this. The Kimura lock and the Anaconda Vice, or that solution he did, and then
No,
the
Gamora lock. You got it
Kimura
right
lock,
the first time.
Kimura lock and the F5, and that's it. That was it. Nothing else happened in this match.
No, I
0.
mean, literally, he bum rushed freaking Oba in the corner. 4 F5s went for the pin, 4 in a row. Then he went for a pin, and he still kicked out of it. That's just damn. I don't know what else to say about
This
that. And
match
then at one point,
was
Obi, you have to at least give Obi credit. At one point, when he was in the lock with one arm behind his back, he still managed to deadlift Brock with one arm. Dude, that's impressive.
that is
That is
impressive.
really impressive.
But arguably, this was the shittiest match of the night. Not because of the outcome, not because Brock won. That's fine. It's the way he did it. There was no offense. This goes down to they oversold the show. They oversold this match. It was supposed to be, it's Oba and Brock 2, and it looked like it was Gilbert versus Goldberg. It just did not sell the way it should have. It sucked. It was horrible. I'm sorry, WWE, do better. And they probably
I
paid
feel
Brock a shit ton of money to do this match, and he came out on top.
Oh, I'm sure, but I'm pretty sure I know what's happening here is that they're setting up the rubber match. There's going to be another one
Yeah,
between these two,
SummerSlam.
the end all beat all. Yeah, probably SummerSlam, but
Well, because
that's exactly what they're going for.
it's in Minnesota this year. That's Brock's home
Yeah,
area. So
home the Vikings. Yeah.
so yeah, it makes sense to do it that way. The thought that I was having is that Brock will cost Oba a shot at the King of the Ring, and that will set up their match at SummerSlam. That would be the way to do it.
Again, Clever, very clever.
Clever booking. It tells a great story.
Timeout real quick. I feel like this is not the first time we've done this with Brock. I feel like we did the exact same thing
With
with
Goldberg.
Goldberg a
Yep.
couple of years ago. This is the exact same scenario. So I agree with you. We're kind of retreading the same stuff. What the hell, guys? Come on. You could have
This
the other thing.
said
I
arguably
don't
this
know.
is the worst match of the year. Not just the night. It's worst match of the year. It sucked, and
I do appreciate. Oh, God.
I was gonna say it was built to be. Oh my god, it's gonna be great, and then it fell flat.
It could have been a lot more interesting with a little bit more back and forth going on. But I mean,
Yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Obafemi pretty much dominate Brock at WrestleMania? Or was I can't remember exactly how
No,
the entire flow went.
Oba destroyed Brock at WrestleMania.
So essentially so that makes sense. What they're doing is like, okay, he got destroyed here, you got destroyed here, so now it's gonna become the rubber match, end all beat all. They might even make it a special type of match at SummerSlam. Who knows?
Yeah,
I'm actually invested to see where this is gonna go. Hopefully it's a good finish.
two things about that. Number one, I think they kind of killed some of Oba's push by having Brock lose or by Brock.
That's a valid point. That's a valid point.
They killed whatever push he had. It's gone. Number two, if they do a third match and there is a special stipulation, I'm thinking one of two: either Hell in a Cell, which I think is overdone, and or Last Man Standing. I think Last Man Standing would be a better way to do this,
Probably. Yeah, because that means they can do whatever the hell they wanted.
and it would go longer than 10 minutes. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They could
And
fight
see,
anywhere, and they could fight anywhere in the arena.
mhm.
They could do it to where Oba just puts the table on top of Brock just to keep him down. And they've done that with the Big Show before, so it wouldn't be
Yeah, forklift.
new. So yeah, that's where my mindset is at this point. But again, we have 2 months until SummerSlam. So
Fair enough, but I mean, that's why I thought this was gonna end in a draw because I thought that would be the more logical way of doing this, where you don't really not only do you not kill Oba's momentum, but you don't kill any of Brock's either. He just came back, he comes in, has a great standing, just demolishes Oba, but then somehow it still ends in like a count out or whatever the case may be. That would have made more sense in my opinion, but oh well, what do I know? I'm not the one making the big bucks.
yeah, but again, go ahead. Final thought.
One last thing. Well, just one last thing. I have to throw it out there. Can we talk about Oba's anal beads? Can we talk about that for a second?
He's worn them before.
I know, but I never really paid attention to it. I guess I don't know. I'm usually just watching the little walk he's doing into the ring. I never pay attention to it. And he got in the ring, and I was like, "My God, those look like anal beads."
Where the fuck is your mind at right now? Jesus, man.
American Wedding, because there's a funny scene with anal beads in that movie. So there you go.
Since we both picked disqualification, both of us were wrong. Wow. Yeah, pretty much. Moving on.
Well,
Another title match. This one was actually a decent match for what it was. And we have Sol Ruca versus Becky Lynch. And once again, this is heel Zodiac talking right now. Because heel Zodiac is a whole different person. Can we stop putting Jessica fucking Carr and Becky Lynch matches? I'm sorry. That dirty bitch finds a way to fuck up the match every time she's in the match. I'm sorry. And yeah, Becky's trying to save Jessica from a bad move every time she's in there. Okay. Heel Zodiac is now gone. We are back to unbiased. This was a great match, actually.
I feel like
Even
I fell asleep for a few seconds there.
Even though Sol Ruca did fuck up in a couple of spots in that match.
And that's something I want to talk about because when she made her debut on the main roster at the Rumble, she was phenomenal, and I
Yeah.
really enjoyed seeing her work. Because we've established I don't really watch NXT, not because I don't want to, I just don't have time for
Yeah.
it. But the last few PLEs that I've watched between Saturday night's main event and now this, I'm seeing a lot of her high flying moves are not really hitting. I don't know if it's because it's nervous being on the big stage,
Yeah.
or what's going on with that, but I'm seeing a lot of mistakes here. Not
Yeah.
only that, but I'm afraid for her because
Yep.
with that kind of high flying style, you're making yourself more prone for accidents. Look
Yep.
at what happened to Lita's career there towards the end. Like she came back from a freaking, I think it was a torn ACL or something like that. Bad injury, gone for a year, comes back, wins the woman's title, and within she has a match against Trish at I think it was it's like a January PLE. I forget what the hell it was called. They changed it so often back then. And within a couple of minutes, she already re-injured her damn knee and was out. And I think that was the end of her wrestling career at that point. And it's like, you know what? She needs to be careful. She's heading in that same direction. I don't
Yeah.
want to see that kind of thing happen for somebody who is just starting out on the main roster.
I
Just
agree.
saying.
I think it is nerves because she's coming from NXT, which is a smaller crowd, to the big roster, which is 19,000 people every week. But and we didn't start seeing this until after she signed the contract when Becky interrupted her. She fucked up the finisher, the soul catcher, and fucked it up on Becky. She has so much potential. And one of the guys in the group I was in made up a good point. Is like, if she keeps fucking up like this, why are they putting the strap on her? And my reply was Jey Uso. That's all you need to know, because Jey Uso was botching before he won the title too, and they still put it on him. So they're putting their confidence in her. I think there's more deserving people that could have won that belt. I'm just saying. I get it. The Intercontinental, both men's and women's, is a stepping stone. It's a working man or women's championship. Top of my head, Bayley comes to mind almost immediately because Bayley has been shafted for 2 years. 2 years in a row at WrestleMania. She was supposed to be in a tag match. The first and against and she got taken out by somebody who came back early. Becky Lynch the first year and then Paige the second, and did not win the titles either time. And I've said this before and I'll say it again, Bayley is visibly pissed walking up the ramp after WrestleMania when Paige and Brie Bella won the titles. I'm like, really? Part-timers are going to win? And now the part-timer thing is going to the women's side. Have we not fucking learned, WWE? Part-timers are
No,
going to put asses in the seats. I'm sorry. I don't need to see Brie Bella and Nikki Bella and Paige. I want to see them wrestle full time. And you don't give a part-timer a championship out the gate. I'm sorry. You don't.
no,
That
I don't
being
think
said,
so.
the right person won this match. And again, it is well documented that I am a big Becky fan, but I also recognize that they were going to pass the torch to somebody else. Becky maybe taking some time off. There's been some fantasy booking rumors about Maxine Dupree turning on Becky and becoming a heel, making Becky the face again, because Maxine has been hanging out with Austin Theory in the back.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I haven't
more
been watching on a regular, but I have been catching that.
so, but again, Sol Ruka, congratulations to her. I hope she does great things with it. At that point, it's like, okay, who beats her for the title at this point? Do we give it back to Lyra? Do we give it to Bayley? Do we put it on someone like Raquel Rodriguez, who I think needs a title? If it's not the main title, give her the next best thing and
I
see what
think
she
she
does.
deserves something. I think she deserves one. I will agree with that.
But for the future of WWE, I'm looking right at you. Jessica Carr and Becky Lynch matches. No, stop it. Put the other female referee in there. The I forget her name. I don't know her name. But that being said, it looks like the Psycho picked Becky to win. I picked Salsacoa.
Honestly, I really didn't think they were going to give it to her. I really didn't. But then again, I don't keep up with what's going on in the background. I didn't know that there was a possibility that maybe Becky wanted to take some time off. That's, good
I
for
don't
her if
think
she
that's it.
does.
I don't think that's
I
it.
mean, I don't think so, because didn't she just come back a few months ago? So,
Yeah, she's not
yeah.
for a while. As a matter of fact, she's probably going to bitch and moan about it on Monday. So be prepared for
The
that.
look on her face, she most definitely will. But I agree, this wasn't a bad match. This was probably, I would dare say, probably the match of the night, perhaps.
Well,
Aside from all the little botches that were going on along the way, but considering what we
yeah,
have to work with here, I think this was probably the more exciting match throughout the night.
yeah,
But
agreed.
and not to mention the interesting contrast in style between these two. But
Oh yeah.
yeah,
On to our main event: Jacob Fatu versus Roman Reigns in a tribal combat.
tribal combat for the
Tribal
World
combat.
Heavyweight
Yeah.
Championship.
Oh my God, when are we going to stop having these two men wrestle? I mean, they're great together. Don't get me wrong, but it's like with Gunther and Cody. I would have, and we both picked Roman because we're not stupid. In reality, I would like to think in another reality that Jacob won this match, but he didn't. Now, there's something that Roman said towards the end of this match that caught my attention, and I repeated this. Roman said to Jacob, "I don't need anybody to do what I do. I'm doing this for the family." I heard that and I went, there is going to be a turn. If not tomorrow, then upcoming, where one or both of the Usos is going to turn on Roman, cost him that title before he goes to promote Street Fighter. I think it's going to be Solo. I think Solo is going to be the one to take that belt off of him.
Well, after what happened at the match with Solo and his little entourage standing right there on the outside the apron, I think it's pretty clear that he has a bad intent.
But yeah,
And aside from that, I'm sorry, but I am just Am I the only one that's just kind of tired of the whole bloodline thing? Seriously,
Many
this has
times.
been going on way too freaking long.
No, no,
Way too long.
you're not calling it the bloodline. It's the first family. It's different.
Sorry, the first family was funnier, but when it was on the LP. Thank you very much.
You know, to quote Sami Zayn, this match was not very oozy.
No, you know what, dude? This match sucked. It was the worst match of the night for me. 80% of this match was literally staring, walking, punching, clotheslines, and pointing our finger in the air. That was literally about 80 fucking percent of this match. It
Yep.
took minutes before they finally started doing anything. They even went and fought on the outside. Even that was boring. The most interesting aspect of that for me was Roman throwing concessions into the crowd. Although I hear that somebody went to the hospital getting into a fight over a Slim Jim, but that's neither here nor there. But but yeah, I mean, they fight amongst the crowd. Nothing really major happens. I don't know. The best part of the match, or at least one of the smartest aspects, was when at one point Roman grabs a toolbox and starts going for
Yeah.
Jacob's hand. You know what? That's smart. That is really smart, in my opinion, trying to take that particular move out of the equation completely.
Yep.
So that is actually smart storytelling in my mind. But
But
that's one of the few
yeah.
shining things of the match.
Yeah, this match was just, again, much like the Oba family Brock Lesnar match. He just fell short. I just was not invested. It's pretty bad when I'm on my phone during a show. I usually have my phone sitting down, or I'm invested in what I'm watching. This one, I'm like, I don't care. I'm not invested. This match is shit. And you brought up a good point earlier. The AAA show on YouTube for free, couple ads here and there, but that's fine. The entire show was a great fucking card, great fucking show, and it was a free show. $30 a month for ESPN, and this is the shit I get. If you want to know why WWE's numbers are dwindling, there it is right there. 100%.
Right in front of you.
And TKO does not have their hand in the AAA creative room, nor in the NXT one, if I'm not mistaken. It's just the main roster. They're like, we know what we're doing. Dance for me, puppets, dance. Take a pay cut or you're fired, you know? But yet their CEOs are making hand over fist 20, 30 million a year. I'm like, you know, maybe you should share that money with the wrestlers because they're the ones doing all the fucking work. You're just sitting on your fucking ass. Seriously, I don't agree with that.
No, you're sitting on your ass and you're ruining the freaking product. It's been pretty lackluster for a while now. This is why I don't watch the weekly show anymore. I literally watch the Wall Culture wrap-ups, ups and downs every week, and that's it. That's all I'm doing.
And, you know, shout out, and I know he doesn't listen, but shout out to Simon Miller. I fucking love him. He gives me that warm feeling in my tum-tum. To quote, I love him. If I ever get to meet the man, I would love to meet him. Like, dude, he's fucking awesome. I love him. And he's a professional wrestler too. So, and before him, it was Wrestling with Regret. It's he doesn't do the weekly shows anymore. He just does pay-per-view reviews. That should tell you something, that somebody who's been doing this product for a long time is like, the product sucks. I'm gonna go to the past. That should tell you everything you want to know.
I mean, it's 100%. A combination of, I'm sure, a combination of the product. And also he said it was just getting to be a little bit too much of a hassle. It was a little bit too much of a crunch for him. And frankly, he's a lot happier now, just doing videos on random shows and everything. He's having a lot more fun now. So good for him for making a life change for his YouTube channel that actually satisfies him in the long run.
And yet you got people like me who are still doing it and then created a whole nother podcast just because I didn't have enough free time. So that being said, we both pick Roman. We both, we got it right. Whatever. Fuck. Okay.
Not happy about it.
No, that's the one L I would have taken because, you know, it is what it is. That being said, I went 3-2. You went 2-3. We were in the overall standings. Now that we no longer have Charles in there, his record is gone. That being said, we are both tied at 13-12 for the year. You were one game ahead. You were one pick ahead of me before this, and we were just one pick off. So we are back to tied. That being said, and there was much rejoice. Our rating, and on the Zodiac podcast, we do letter grades and we don't grade on a curve either. Psycho Nerd, what is your letter grade of this show? And I'm prepared for harsh. I really am.
You know, just to throw a little bit of positivity, because believe it or not, I've still seen worse. I've still seen worse.
WrestleMania 9, WrestleMania Night 1, or 42 Night 1.
There's others. Anyway, we won't get into that.
Yeah.
just to throw a little bit of positivity, I'm going to say a D plus. And I think a lot of the problem here, and I think we discussed it last week when we asked about Saturday night's main event, do we feel like it's a little bit oversaturated? That is part of the problem. You guys are taking the specialty, the allure, whatever you want to call it, you're taking the substance out of the PLEs because you're doing this other show literally a week before this one. It felt like, oh, we have another show to watch. Oh, man, God damn it. Got other shit to do, but okay, fine. I'll deal with this.
I've said this
That's
before.
how I felt. It wasn't like, oh, another show. It was like, another show? Damn it.
Not
You know
just
what I mean?
that, not just that, but they should really do PLEs every 2 months. Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam. Keep the Survivor Series in there, and then fill in the gaps with a main event in there somewhere. You know, and again, I agree. We talked about this last week. It should be a weekly, not a weekly, but a once a year thing, like the Great American Bash used to be. You know, just make it a once a year thing with all the pomp and circumstance. They're oversaturating the market, is what they're doing. And the fact that the freaking king and queen of the ring tournament, the first matches are fatal 4-ways. They're not individuals. We're not doing tournament style like we used to. I'm like, who the fuck's idea was this? Seriously. No, not everybody has to be in this fucking tournament. Pick 16 people, whatever, from Raw and SmackDown, and do it that way, like they've done before. You've got 8 on Raw, 8 on SmackDown. They come together, they have their final, they get the title shot. The same with the women. 8 on Raw, 8 on SmackDown, boom. And you can even throw NXT in the mix if you wanted to. You could totally get away with that. And it would be fine. And I'm also upset that there's no King of the Ring fucking PLE anymore. They just did away with
that boat sailed long time
It's
ago.
fucking stupid.
Long time ago.
And the fact that, they get a title shot, but what about the characterization of the character being the king and queen? Some of the greatest runs, Booker T, Macho Man, Sheamus, even Barrett. Bad News Barrett. He won King of the Ring. Even Zelina Vega. For a time, she walked around.
That's right. She was the queen.
I've said this before and I'll say it again. And this year to be the year to do it. Give Chelsea Green the Queen of the Ring. I'm telling you right now, that would be gold. That would be just the characterization of her character it'd be great. It'd be fucking phenomenal. No pun intended on AJ Styles when I say that, but you get what I'm saying. It would sell itself.
Honestly, after seeing that match between her and who was it, Penta from years ago?
Yeah.
My God, they are not using that woman to her full potential at all.
Nope.
After seeing that, I mean, I like Chelsea Green all right. She's a very annoying character, but that's the character she plays, and I accept it. I enjoy it. She's a lot of fun when she acts like that and whatnot. But after seeing that match, what the hell, WWE? What are you doing with this woman?
Yep.
She deserves better than this, based off of that alone.
And they got her working with Tiffany Stratton right now because she's the U.S. champion.
Yeah, I caught that.
No, fuck that. She needs to be in the main title hunt right now. Seriously. I don't give a fuck what Michael P.S. Hayes says. That piece of shit needs to fucking retire already. Anyway, we're talking about the grades. I apologize. You said D+.
No, that's all good. D+. By the way, it also gets a plus because Santino was there. Woo!
The greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time. Come on, Santino. I went the other way with this one. This was not a great show. It wasn't the worst I've seen, but it wasn't the best I've seen. But I feel like the Becky versus Sol Sikoa match, you could argue, was the best match of the night. And that's not saying a whole lot with the pile of shit that was in this entire show. I'm giving it a D-. I'm sorry. I
expected that.
And I was sitting there going, maybe I should go back and watch it again. No, I'm not going to sit through this atrocity. I'd rather watch me get a root canal than have to fucking shit again.
Ooh, I've had that.
And I've had a root canal. Fuck no, that ain't happening.
Not fun.
Again, we said this before, it's pretty sad when one match on a free show was better than the entire night for a paid show. Sorry. I'm just spitting facts. It's sad when something free was better than, you get what you pay for, right? Not always the case.
Yeah, pretty much.
And you wonder why ESPN's losing money.
But, oh well.
There it is.
What is the next PLE again? I forget.
Clash of Champions, and that's in Saudi Arabia a month from now. I know.
Okay.
Well, at least we get it out of the way early, so we don't have to be up super early for that one.
No, but that just means we're right around the corner from WrestleMania being there next year and the year after that.
If they still do it there, there's been talk of them changing that venue.
You know what? I think it would be a bad idea the way things are going in the world right now. Thanks,
Yep.
you know who. I'm not going to say his freaking name. I'm not going to
Yeah,
give him.
Vince
You
McMahon,
say
how
his
dare
name, you
you.
give him power. No.
Say
Yeah,
his
totally.
name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. Well, he didn't come.
Hardy hard.
That will conclude our review of both the AAA main event and the Clash in Italy. Psycho Nerd, promote your shit.
Well, you can find past episodes of the Psycho Nerd podcast on my YouTube channel. You can just type that in, or go to my YouTube channel, Repeat Movie Viewer. All the episodes are there. Currently, the podcast is taking a hiatus because I'm trying to think of how I can make things better. I feel like I need that. Yeah, it's taking a hiatus for a time for right now. But there are some new videos that I'm currently editing for my Repeat Movie Viewer channel, including Pete's House #2 for Scary Movie in conjunction with the new movie coming out. Keep an eye out for that. And there's other stuff I'm working on as well. So it's all about editing at this point.
Fair enough. And the link will be down in the description below. Not just the Zodiac podcast, but we also have the Repeat Movie Viewer. No, we don't.
Thanks for the extra promo, man.
Oh my God. The Real Movie Critics, real reviews by real fans. We just today finished up a birthday pick from the Psycho for House that will be dropping at the same time that this episode drops. So make sure you go to Real Zodiac Productions on YouTube and go to Real Movie Critics on Apple Podcast and Spotify. I don't know why my mind blanked out for a moment there. Upcoming episodes next weekend. There will not be an episode of the show because the Zodiac podcast will be at the Corpus Christi Comic-Con. So if you see me out there, and my buddy Lord Scuba Cobber, my buddy Ben, we all have our own podcast. We will all be out there. So if you see us, flag us down, take a picture, all that fun shit. But there will not be an episode of this particular podcast next week. However, we will be having the upcoming movie reviews will be the movie Obsession, which I saw yesterday. And next weekend is the premieres of Scary Movie 6 and Masters of the Universe. So all three of those are upcoming here in the next week and a half or 2 weeks. So again, find those on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts, along with this one as well. But for the Psycho Nerd, I am DJ Zodiac. This has been DJ Zodiac Podcast. We want to thank you for watching and or listening. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow to the show. 66 followers as of now. Let's get that up to 75, guys. It's free. Click the bell icon. We drop episodes every Monday or every Tuesday, depending on what's going on in the world. But for the Psycho Nerd, I am DJ Zodiac, and we will see you next time. But until then, kids, remember, in the world of Superman, be the Green Lantern. We will see you next time.
Lights go down, the tension's rising high.